KOLD 13 welcomes you to the Tucson Rodeo Parade, celebrating 100 years. This broadcast is brought to you by these local businesses.
A century of tradition.
100 years of heritage.
Who would have known the ride would last this long?
They didn't know back in 1925, when the very first Tucson Rodeo Parade trotted through downtown Tucson. It all started with one man who came from New York and one big idea. Frederick Leighton Kramer said Tucson needed a rodeo.
Business leaders wondered why. Back in the day, the old Pueblo still held the aura of the Wild West. But Kramer convinced them to cowboy up, and the Tucson Rodeo was born.
Every contestant was required to ride in that first parade.
Over the years, it has grown, and so has its reputation. The longest parade in the world, entirely by horsepower, is now one of Tucson's most beloved events.
I love the horses and all the wagons. Yeah, just the spirit of it. It's a great morning.
It's more than just a colorful sight. It is a celebration of tradition and culture, now in its 100th year.
And we come every year, and lots of fun. Just watching the people, the parade, it's really nice.
And it keeps rolling on.
So saddle up and get ready to ride.
The centennial edition of the Tucson Rodeo Parade is about to roll your way. Welcome to the 100th annual Tucson Rodeo Parade, the Centennial Parade. I'm Brooke Wagner.
And I'm Dan Mares, live from a 1922 Model T Roadster. Oh no, it's a Tourster car. And I'm in the parade, the very beginning of the parade, so I'm not sitting with Brooke quite yet. But all the former Grand Marshals are in some cars before the parade starts. So it's still the world's longest non-mechanized parade. So this is a lot of fun, Brooke. I cannot wait for our coverage this morning. It's going to be fantastic.
Dan, and congrats to you for being part of the parade of Grand Marshals, part of the parade.
Yes. Yeah, we've got about a dozen former Grand Marshals in all these cars. And again, it's before the parade starts. So this is something new because it is the 100th anniversary of the Tucson Rodeo Parade. So we got former World War Grand Marshals that include World War II veterans, Louise Thomas, Dr. Carmona, former Surgeon General, Coach Mike Candrea is back there, Jim Ronstadt's back there, Louise Thomas. So we got a lot of former Grand Marshals in all these cars. So people are going to get to see some of the former Grand Marshals before the actual parade starts.
All right, Dan, we'll be checking back with you in just a moment. Oh, I always look forward to this part of it. Let's watch Mariachi Aslan and Grupo Folclórico Los Guerreros de Pueblo High School, and they are wonderful. Enjoy.
Well, we're waiting for the mariachis to begin.
It's a big part of what we experience with the rodeo parade, of course, is the amazing music and these young people who put so much into it every year, and they practice so hard. One of the coolest things, and actually I think we have some video out there with Dan, we have all of these past Grand Marshals who have convened for the 100th year, which is just, I can't believe, since 1925, all the people it takes to put this together, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, but all of the horse marshals, the foot marshals, the preparation it takes to keep this safe is incredible.
And, you know, there are so many things that are still very traditional about this, and then some new things.
Let's listen into the national anthem. That was an amazing rendition of the national anthem performed by Mariela Herrera, Adelina Grijalva Gomez, and Daisy Talavera. That was a wonderful job. Let's go back out to Dan Maries now. He is a former Grand Marshal, a proud one. Over this 100 years, we have a parade of the previous Grand Marshals, and he is part of this incredible group with vintage vehicles through the years. Dan?
Yeah, I'm in a 1922 Model T, and this is a beautiful car. And there's going to be about a dozen of these older cars from each decade of the generations with former Grand Marshals. And so I'm actually out in front. I was 2014, so I'm going to be getting out of the Model T and then jumping up on stage with you, Brooke, so we can continue our live coverage of the Tucson Rodeo Parade. But it's going to be fantastic. Just in this short couple of blocks that I've been in the car, there's already hundreds, if not thousands, of people lining the streets, and we are just at the very beginning of the route. So you imagine all the folks along the route. It is just packed. And here we go. We're getting ready to start the 2025 100th anniversary of the Tucson Rodeo Parade. This is so exciting. I as much as I love to announce the parade with you, Brooke, I kind of wish I could ride the whole way, but duty calls, work calls.
Well, we are watching you, Dan, come up the road here. Thanks to the Rolling Through Time Auto Museum for arranging the use of these amazing vintage vehicles. As Dan said, former Grand Marshal leading things off. He was the Grand Marshal in 2014, and he's in that 1922 Ford Model T owned by Jerry Carbone. So Dan, you'll be joining me up here in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to let you wave and enjoy the crowd who's so happy to have you here today. I've heard you talking to 1 million people already.
Oh, I'll tell you what, this is so much fun because the people are excited. You get to meet generations of families and Tucsonans, and it's the electricity in the air this year. It feels different. I mean, people are just happy to be here. The weather couldn't be more perfect for today, and it's awesome. I absolutely love it. One of my favorite days of the year for sure.
Well, and I did notice people started showing up even earlier. I see Dan coming up the road now. Hey, Dan.
Good morning.
And then he's followed up by Jim Ronstadt, Grand Marshal from 1993. He's in a 1928 Ford Model A owned by Rolling Through Time. That's Jim Ronstadt. And then following up is a Ford Model AA chemical fire engine. That's what we're going to see next from the 2001 Grand Marshal Dolan Ellis. Once the official balladeer for the state of Arizona, and that's who we're seeing right here, Dolan Ellis. That truck owned by Chuck and Lynn Tim. Boy, that is quite a vehicle. The parade of Grand Marshals, proud Grand Marshals of years gone by, here for the Centennial Edition. Next up, 2002 Grand Marshal Mike Candrea, the Hall of Fame coach for the Arizona Wildcats softball, riding in a Model A Deluxe Roadster owned by Rolling Through Time as well. And former Surgeon General of the United States, Richard Carmona, Grand Marshal from the 2007 Rodeo Parade. That's Richard Carmona in there in that 1940 Pontiac Deluxe Coupe, owned by Tom McWilliams. Got the flames going on the front there. And then next, representing the 2012 Grand Marshals, the Tucson, Arizona Boys Chorus, longtime director Julian Ackerley. Oh, we got the Auga horn in the mix. Julian's riding in 1954 Ford Crestline. And then Chandler Wharton, Grand Marshal in 2016, riding in a 1966 butter yellow Ford Mustang owned by Cheryl Brown, with Burt Martin Foundation, owner of the Rock and W Rancho. The 2017 Parade Grand Marshal, Jeanette Murray, founder of Ben's Bells. And then Tucson Conquistadores were honored as Grand Marshals in 2018 for their philanthropic work in Tucson. And they're in a 2003 Scorpion Mark IV, owned by Dwayne Jungen, Conquistadores Executive Director Jeff Hill, and Golf Tournament Chair Aaron Crowley. Hi, guys. And then all World War II veterans were honored in 2020 as Grand Marshals for their courage and honorable service. And we see World War II veteran Ray Groves riding with his wife Sharon in a 2007 Shelby GT 500. Gorgeous car. And then that's our 2020 right there in that red Shelby. You see the snake on the front, that emblem. Boy, this is quite a parade of cars. And then last we have Louise Thomas, founder of Angel Charities for Children, Grand Marshal 2024, riding in a 2010 Shelby GT 500 owned by Steve Field. So, quite the vehicles we have here. There's Louise, and Dan just had a story with her. Every single one of these Grand Marshals has an amazing story to tell, including our own Dan Maris, who has now made it back up to the stage. But we're gonna stick with the parade of former Grand Marshals for just a moment. It is the centennial, which is why we're celebrating you and the other Grand Marshals for being a huge part of 100 years. I mean, the state was just nation. Yes.
We were just babies back in 1925 when this all started, thanks to the Kramer family. And I'll tell you what, this is spectacular.
And they are Grand Marshals this year.
The descendants of Kramer is Leighton Kramer. They are the Grand Marshals. So I interviewed the 3 grandchildren of him, and they came from Palm Springs, California, New Mexico, and they were just absolutely honored to be named the Grand Marshals of the 100th year of the Tucson Rodeo Parade.
And for good reason. And now we have the front banner here. This is the main event for the 100th annual Tucson Rodeo Parade.
Yes, now we're officially starting. Now that the cars are out of the way, this is the actual start of the rodeo parade.
Let's go to Erin. She's there with the bell ringers.
Brooke, Dan, it is time for that annual tradition, the bell ringing, to officially kick off the Tucson Rodeo Parade. And we're honored this morning to have not one, but 2 bell ringers, Jaslyn and Arthur. They've come from Sarita. How many times you guys been at the Tucson Rodeo Parade?
3.
And Arthur, 3 times for you?
2.
2 times. Have you ever rung the bell before?
No.
Oh, it's a huge honor. You know that, right?
Yes.
I'm so glad you wore your perfect hats for it. All right, on the count of 3, we're going to have you ring the bell to officially kick off the 100th Tucson Rodeo Parade. All right, yeah, you guys can do it together. 1, 2, 3. Nice job!
Oh my gosh, they did a great job. And
sure
here
did.
comes our...
Yeah, nice round of applause for our bell ringers.
This is only the second year we've had this newer route. It starts at 12th Avenue in Drexel, and then it heads east on Drexel, past the grandstand at Liberty. That's where we are. It rolls all the way to Nogales Highway, where it makes a left-hand turn, and heads north on Irvington, where it finishes right outside Rudy Garcia Park. Now, again, this is the second year this route has been used. It changed last year due to avoid having to cross the railroad tracks. That was always kind of an issue. The original route back in 1925, though, and for decades, ran through downtown Tucson. But as the parade got bigger, downtown Tucson was just a little too cramped.
Yes, the banner was let off there by the Palm Line from the University of Arizona, and now we see the color card from the Tucson Rodeo Parade. Traditionally presented on horseback, flags are carried by members of the University of Arizona Rodeo team, and they're carrying the parade centennial flag, the flag of the state of Arizona, and our Star-Spangled Banner.
You know how much fun it is going to be for the Pom Pom Squad to be able to carry that flag on the 100th anniversary of the Tucson Rodeo Parade. Quite the honor for them. We're so glad they're out here today, and just a good time.
It is, and as Dan mentioned, we have this year's Grand Marshals. This is a really special centennial year. We have the descendants of Frederick Leighton Kramer, this year's Grand Marshals. And
Yep, in honor of the founder of La Fiesta de los Vaqueros, the Tucson Rodeo Parade Committee is proud to have descendants of Frederick Leighton Kramer as the Grand Marshals for the 100th Tucson Rodeo Parade. 11 direct descendants are being honored. A grandson, Hilton McCabe, 4 great-grandchildren, Scott McCabe, Mary Ray, Carrie Albro, and Debbie Huterbaugh. 3 great-grandchildren, Jordan Ray, Morgan Junton, and Sarah Rich, and 1 great-grandchild, Aaron. They're all riding in the 2025 Rodeo Parade along with their family members.
And these are the Shires pulling them along, these majestic horses. Hello. And Dan, you interviewed some of these folks, and they are really proud to be part of this.
Very proud.
Oh, my goodness.
Just think, their grandfather, their great-grandfather, great-great-grandpa, all part of this long history right here.
It started back in Prohibition days, and now look at us. This is the University of Arizona, the Pride of Arizona Marching Band, the 2024 Sudler Trophy winning pride under the direction of Chad Shoopman. They are coming down the road now. Let's listen in.
Pride of Arizona.
You know, one of the most exciting, visible, involved student groups on the University of Arizona campus with a long and rich tradition of excellence. The Pride performs for Arizona sporting and special events, and we are always so happy and excited to see them because they always sound so good.
Yes, they do, and there are 150 of them.
Wow.
They were in the very first Super Bowl in 1967. In 2024, awarded the esteemed Sudler Trophy. They've been to Disneyland. They've been all around, but they won what is basically the Heisman Trophy for collegiate marching bands. Now that they're a little closer, we'll listen for just a moment here.
For collegiate marching bands, this is the Pride of Arizona.
Ruben is marching in time with them while he records them. It's terrific.
Here we have the Tucson Rodeo Parade Committee Chairman, Russ Kriedemeyer, a good friend of mine. He's a great guy. Russ is excited to be chairman for the second time, having chaired in 2007 and 8. He's a second-generation parade committee member. His father, Bud, a wonderful man, was a member for over 50 years, and Russ has been with the committee for 32 years. In addition to his service on the executive board, he was head of the parade operations for many years. Russ welcomes you to the 100th Tucson Rodeo Parade, and he hopes you enjoy the show.
Hi there, Russ. And we do have another committee chairman coming up behind him, Sam Merriman. We'll tell you a little bit more about him. Sam grew up in Tucson at an early age, won championships in the Hoofs and Horns. Later in 4-H, the FFA rodeo competitions. In high school, he led Amphi High to a state football championship. But here's the thing. He went on to the University of Idaho as a 4-time All-Big Sky Conference player, and then a 5-year NFL career with the Seattle Seahawks, so pro football player, but that was ended by a knee injury. He came on back to Tucson, got involved again with the rodeo, and now Tucson Rodeo Committee. He's honored and proud to be chairman of the 100th annual rodeo.
Here we have Congressman Juan Ciscomani. Juan Ciscomani represents Arizona's 6th Congressional District in the U.S. House of Representatives. As a dad, husband, and lifelong member of our community, he is proud to be fighting for us in D.C., he says, and for his roles on the Appropriations Committee and the Veterans Affairs Committee. Juan says that he is committed to delivering for the 6th Congressional District of Arizona. He is excited to join this year's 100th anniversary of the Tucson Rodeo Parade and is joined by his wife, Laura. And get this. Guess how many kids they have?
I already know, so I would be cheating, but I know it's 6
kids.
children.
Can you imagine
they got a
juggling his
packed
schedule?
carriage right there.
Yes. And you know, when Congressman Ciscomani comes back to Tucson, I see him out and about, and he goes and helps coach his kids' sports teams. So not only is he juggling the politics of D.C., but also his family life as well.
In other words, he has a clone. Hi, guys. Oh, my goodness,
What's up,
and they're
Congressman?
all in their rodeo gear. That's awesome. Up next, we have Mayor Regina Romero and City Manager Timothy Tomyer. They are riding along in that buggy there. The draft horses, by the way, hitched up to all of these wagons. They have been warming up for about 30 minutes over at the rodeo grounds, getting ready, and you see how calm they are as they bring that historic carriage down the road.
And you know, you did a story on this. These horses come from other parts of Arizona, some parts of the country, other world as well. And it takes a special horse because you think of all the distractions that are in the Tucson Rodeo Parade. So that safety is always the top priority, obviously. But there's Tucson Mayor Regina Romero enjoying the parade as well.
Hello there, Mayor. Good to see you. And followed up by the City of Tucson City Council joining the Centennial Celebration. Vice Mayor Lane Santa Cruz from Ward 1, Councilmember Paul Cunningham from Ward 2, Councilmember Nikki Lee from Ward 4, and Councilmember Richard Fimbris from Ward 5.
So does this mean we have a quorum?
That was a good one, Dan. I like that.
There we see Ward 1, Lane Santa Cruz, and the Tucson City Council members. You know, the Tucson City Council obviously has a big say in how the Tucson Rodeo Parade goes and the parade itself, the rodeo itself. And so here they are out here waving to their constituents and having a good time as well, just like all the other entrants.
And I want to take just a moment to point out the horse marshals on either side. These horses, what they go through training-wise in order to keep calm through any possible situation, incredible. And there's Ward 2 going by there.
I'm doing well, Paul.
Up next, we're going to have the City of South Tucson, incorporated in 1936 as the Pueblo within the city. Enjoy multicultural hospitality, refined Mexican cuisine, fish and fries. That sounds good about now. Riding in the wagon are Mayor Roxana Valenzuela and City Council members and staff as well.
You know, the City of South Tucson, it's very unique when you think about it. It is completely surrounded by the City of Tucson. It's only about a square mile. And if you think about other cities across the country, where else do you have a city within a city like this? And so it's very unique. And I'll tell you what, some of the best Mexican food in all of the United States right there in the City of South Tucson.
It's making me hungry just thinking about it.
A breakfast burrito.
You know, I did an interview with the mayor a little while back. And
there she is.
She was like, I have a sick toddler. And I was like, you also have a toddler? Oh, my goodness. Some of these folks, I don't know how they do it.
Oh, yes.
Up next is David Smonson.
Yes, Colonel Gabriel Brown, Deputy Commander of the 355th Wing, represents the 11,000 airmen who serve at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. The base is home to a number of components, Air Operations Center, 12 groups belonging to 6 geographically separated wings, 56 total squadrons, and we can hear some of the jets flying over us as we speak. I love seeing that. 11 flying units, 152 aircraft. We've obviously got the A-10, the C-132 Hercules. It also hosts units from across the federal government, including the Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Space Force, Air Force Reserve, Air National Guard, the Federal Aviation Administration, U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Colonel Brown is joined by his wife, Kim, and his daughters, Gabriella, Danielle, and Lily.
I can't believe we had a flyover at the very moment he was going past.
Yep.
Up next, we have entry 112. It's Dick Swanson, an active member of the Rodeo Parade Committee for more than 45 years, almost half the parade. During his tenure, he chaired the marshaling, horses, building and grounds and equipment, and shop subcommittees. Dick served on the executive board many times, executive chairman of the committee from 90 to 94, and he's proud to see the parade reach 100 years. Thank you for serving the parade committee,
and
Dick Swanson.
Like you said, he's riding in an 1864 carriage that was actually used for the inauguration of the Mexican president in 1864.
It's got the seal there.
Yep, it's a beautiful carriage.
Every one of these carriages and buggies has quite a history. Well, we'd like to say hello to the Tucson Rodeo Parade Committee family and friends wagon. The Tucson Rodeo Parade Committee members spend countless hours, as you know. And they want you to meet some of their families, children, grandchildren, friends. Keeping all the kids corralled is Lynell Betts' wife, Linnell Betts' wife of longtime committee member Terry Betts, and her grandson, Abram Oropeza. Thank you.
And back to the wagon, that's from the La Osa Ranch, and there was 2 of them that took up hundreds of thousands of acres back at the turn of the century. And so there's some more local history right there in that wagon.
Thank you for all you do to make this parade.
There they go. Yes, we so appreciate all the hard work that has gone into this.
And this is a somber part of the parade here. We want to take off our hats for our memorial horse. That's Keith Glazer. It's a single horse, and it's the Tucson Rodeo Parade Committee honors its past members who have passed away in true cowboy style. A riderless horse with boots turned backwards in the stirrups. This year we are saddened by the loss of 2 past members. Keith Glazer was an honorary member of the parade committee since 1998. A transplanted Midwesterner, Keith's knowledge of horses and wagons and harnesses was a tremendous asset to the committee. His horse is led by advisory committee member Tricia Potter.
Oh man, he'll be missed. And we also have a second memorial horse, Jerome Kreitzer, a memorial for Jerome, a winter visitor from Minnesota who visited the Tucson Wagon and History Museum and immediately loved what he saw, grew up on a farm and was familiar with wagon maintenance and volunteered in the wagon shop and refurbished many wagons and buggies. He was elected an honorary member for his many years of assistance in 2007.
Up next, we have the Desert Diamond Casinos, a long-time Tucson Rodeo Parade sponsor. Desert Diamond Casino, riding in this year's entry is new CEO Danielle Chilton, with team members who have been with the casino for more than 20 years. Rosemary Antone, Cynthia Piestawai, Gerald Joaquin, Orlando Villa, Bernadette, and Joaquin, Gloria Silversmith, Marilyn Andres, and they are representing nearly 4,000 casino team members. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
CEO Danielle Chilton.
Thank you. I thought they were gone forever.
They are representing nearly 4,000 casino team members across the 5 Desert Diamond casinos. Don't miss Country Star East Border at the Star Redesigning Center on Saturday, February 26th. Desert Diamond is verified by Photo Foundation. Thank you so much for sponsoring this great event. Headed our way next, the Sonoran Foot and Ankle Institute.
Here we have the Sonoran Foot and Ankle Institute. The Sonoran Foot and Ankle Institute is Tucson's preferred foot and ankle treatment center. They pride themselves in offering the latest in proven, state-of-the-art, and patient-centered treatments. The Institute was founded with a mission of providing superior patient care, advancing podiatry, and serving the community. Make an appointment today and discuss your foot and ankle concerns with their expert team. And, you know, some of these people who are walking the whole parade today, Brooke, they might want to give them a call.
No doubt. I mean, they might need some help. That looks like an old streetcar. That's really cool.
I love that.
Really amazing. Up after them, we have the Paul Bond Boot Company since 1946. They've been handcrafting the world's best custom boots. We'll say goodbye to the podiatry folks, and we'll head on down the road here to quality boots made by Paul Bond. Every pair they craft, by the way, comes to life in the hands of their talented artisans. At Paul Bond, their mission is beyond creating an iconic boot, also building relationships. And we've done stories with Paul Bond. This is like your boots make the person. They need to be part of your personality. And
it's a very important part of the outfit.
Yeah,
you know?
it's an experience. Your boots are they say a lot about
They say a lot about a person, and I'll tell you what, look at their float. I mean, they went all out, making that big old boot right there.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
I am just realizing that's a boot. And hey, I'll take that pair.
And you know, you see her walking right alongside. Those got to be comfortable boots to be walking this whole parade route.
Right. She might have to catch up to the podiatry folks otherwise, but you know, if
Is
they
there a
come
connection?
from Paul Bond. Yeah. Is there? I don't know. That is a great looking float, though. They did a great job there.
And you know, these companies come together and they put a lot of work into these floats, and the employees have a good time doing it all. Here we have Southern Arizona Attractions Alliance. This is a nonprofit organization operating for over 25 years. Their mission to promote the attractions of Southern Arizona to both residents and tourists visiting Tucson. Through various marketing platforms and tourism partners, the Alliance invites everyone to visit the variety of attractions operating in our region. We have a lot. We've got some great things going on around here. Through the Tucson Attractions Passport, which is one of my favorite things, visitors are invited to explore and save on admission costs with the official 2025 Book of Fun, the Tucson Attractions Saving Book. The book's available in both printed and digital format and available online at TucsonAttractions.com.
Hello. I love to watch the mules' ears kind of work like satellite dishes as they walk by. They are very calm and they're doing a great job, but they sure do like to listen to the crowd as well. But you know, Tucson and our whole area is all about food.
Yes, and here we go.
And so now we have La Herradura, Mexican grill and seafood with horseback riders, bringing the heart of Jalisco to Tucson with bold, authentic Mexican and seafood dishes. Family owned for more than 8 years. They serve the community from 4 locations. Join them after the parade for a fiesta of flavors you won't forget. La Herradura, Mexican grill and seafood, where tradition meets taste and every meal is a celebration. And so that's a great idea for after the rodeo parade.
It sure is. Before, after, later today, dinner, tomorrow for lunch.
Just great.
Keep it
the
on
whole
coming.
Day long.
Yeah, I had a breakfast burrito for breakfast, and it was so good. Little Mexico Restaurant. Family owned and operated since 1993 by the Estrada Palomares family. Open daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. all day long. Closed on Tuesdays. They need a day off. They serve homemade soups made daily, including menudo. That's great for New Year's. They're located on Irvington Road, down the street from the rodeo grounds, and are proud sponsors of the Tucson Rodeo Parade. Visit their second location on Valencia and Cardinal here on the south side. That adds great steaks to the menu, as well as a bar and live entertainment. They also have locations inside the rodeo grounds, so if you're going out to the rodeo, make sure you enjoy some of their food. All their food's homemade. That's what sets it apart, including their green corn and red chili tamales. They also do all types of catering for any event, large and small. They also do delivery. Ask about their rodeo drink special. Don't want to miss out on that.
Speaking of which, not to be outdone, Little Mexico Steakhouse. And they're all in purple, which is kind of the color of this year's rodeo parade. Little Mexico Steakhouse, also family-owned, operated by the Estrada Palomares family for more than 20 years. And again, they're open daily 7 to 9, closed Tuesdays. But they add the steaks, the mesquite grilled steaks, served with rancher refried beans, the green chili salsa, the whole works. And they have that full bar and music on the weekend. So join them for the live bands after the rodeo, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. They have all the Mexican food menu, plus the steaks and soups. And also breakfast with homemade chorizo, tamales, menudo served daily. They are proud sponsors of the Tucson Rodeo Parade.
And I mean, they've got 2 floats. They've got all the riders. And I'll tell you what, they are loving it. They've gone all out, too. Hey, guys.
Did you bring us some steak and beans? So purple, like I said, purple is kind of the theme color for this year's rodeo parade. We want to say a quick shout out too, as well, to O'Reilly for sponsoring our best seat in the house over here. We've got Tom and his family and friends over there enjoying a great seat.
Yes. Boy, Brooke, look at that horse. That is gorgeous. Oh,
I mean, it's really, they've got a huge group out here today, and the horses are high-stepping today.
Little Mexico, so far, they are the biggest entrant we've had. There's got to be at least 50 to 60 people involved with the 2 floats and dozens of horses. And tell you what, they're pros. Look at these guys.
Thanks for the support, Little Mexico. And they've got plenty of food afterwards, so that's really, really nice. We have another high school band, Sunnyside, the pride of Sunnyside marching band, under the direction of Cristian del Rosario, with assistance from Xochitl Vasquez, Juan Ipez, Nes Ramirez, and Joseph Vega. They're performing How the West Was Won and its own fight song, Oh Sunnyside. Let's take a listen.
The band is under the direction of Cristian del Rosario and Xochitl Vasquez, as well as Juan Ipez, Nes Ramirez, and Joseph Vega. The band is performing How the West Was Won and its own fight song, Oh Sunnyside. Is its sponsor, Sunnyside.
We have entry 124, Pancho Villagana y Amigos, and they have an interesting story. They're a group of friends. They get together and ride. They do benefit pilgrimages and are also always willing to lend a hand. They get out and they're just friends who like to ride.
Absolutely. We got to give a quick shout out to Desert Husky HVACR for sponsoring the Sunnyside Band entry this year, so thank you to them.
I love it when we see these groups of friends. Hi, guys.
You know they're having a good time.
And they go together all over with their horses. And people sponsor, and it all comes back and helps to support our community.
So another big entry with all these horses. And, you know, these folks got out here probably 4, 5, 6 o'clock this morning, getting their horses ready. And they take such incredible care of their horses. I mean, they're like extended family. They brush them, they bathe them, and just keep them looking good. And you can see all these horses just shining.
Now, it says in their entry, 20 riders. This is definitely
like
more than 20 riders. This is more than 20. They've got a big group here, and they're proud to be here. Every year, it's really neat to see the camaraderie that they bring to the rodeo, especially in the 100th year.
It is very special. And, you know, we're right at the very beginning of the route. We're only about 2 blocks in.
Yeah.
So everything is just getting started when you're watching on this. Here we go,
right,
Stark Electric Incorporated.
Yeah.
There you go, Brooke. It's a full-service commercial and industrial electrical contractor servicing Tucson since 1983. They've been around for decades. Family-owned and operated. They pride themselves on quality craftsmanship, capable of handling all of your electrical needs, from a service call to even medical manufacturing and the biosciences facilities to education fields. Stark Electric Incorporated has the experience to complete your project on time and on budget. That's important. Stark Electric is a proud sponsor of the Centennial Tucson Rodeo Parade. And again, Brooke, they're sticking with that purple.
Yes.
You know, purple is a regal color, right?
It is. I think it is a royal color.
Royal
You're
color.
absolutely right. And you're wearing it. All of the parade committee will be wearing it today. And up next, now, I have heard this name come up a few times talking about support for the rodeo and the rodeo parade, and it's Fry's. They've been around for since 1954, 71 years. 126 grocery stores across 34 cities in Arizona. Fry's is proud to sponsor the 100th Tucson Rodeo Parade. And I know they do a lot with youth rodeo.
Yes.
They do a lot to support and fund just the outreach into rural communities who all come on back and support the rodeo and the parade.
And look at the work they've done on their float. And, you know, I used to be a courtesy clerk for City Market, which is like the Fry's of Colorado. It's owned by Kroger. So I used to be the bag boy. I used to ask you plastic or paper. And I loved it. It was one of the many jobs I had in college. And I always shop at the Fry's at Ina and Thornydale.
But how did you must have stopped and talked to every person who came through the line.
Yeah, I actually loved it because it was fun. I was like, hey, I'll carry out your groceries. It was a good time.
It's wonderful. And I hope that our folks in O'Reilly's Best Seat in the House with Tom down here are having a great time. They have the perfect spot.
It's called the Best Seat in the House.
I mean,
they're right over here. They're right
got
here.
That beautiful truck behind them. Now we have Rodeo Healthcare. It's number 127. Healthcare is Tucson's newborn clinic, providing lactation and breastfeeding support for new mothers and their babies. They also provide medical care for the mom and the baby for 2 months afterwards. Rodeo Healthcare provides nutritional services with a registered dietitian for patients of all ages, and they accept most insurance, including AHCCS plans. Check out their website at rodiohealthcare.com to learn more and schedule your visit. Together, they will help you grow stronger, healthier families right here in Tucson.
I like the little babies sucking on their pacifiers.
Well, that just fits perfectly with,
it really does.
With what they have going on there. That's great. Up next is 128.
This is, I know this organization's close and dear to your heart, the Therapeutic Ranch for Animals and Kids Track. Here they are. They're strengthening kids and community through animals interaction. And Brooke, you did a fundraiser with them a year or two ago where we were helping them raise money. The outdoor physical nature of ranching and therapeutic animal interaction, the force behind what they like to call track magic. Track is one big happy family of diverse individuals enjoying Western life on and off horseback. And when you get a horse involved with therapeutic care of some of these kids, it really opens up a whole new realm of care.
Well, that's the thing. When you talk about horses and therapy, there's some kind of magic that happens when you bring a horse into a situation that they just, without words, they help you get through things.
Yep.
They're amazing. And next, 129 is Encompass Health Rehabilitation Hospitals in Tucson. So this is a physical rehab hospital. It's committed to help you regaining independence after a life-changing illness or an injury like a stroke, a brain injury, hip fracture, or other complex orthopedic and neurological condition. They use an interdisciplinary team approach in patient care with physical therapy, speech therapy, and occupational therapy. The physicians, the nurses, the case managers, dietitians, they all help with this, combined with their advanced technology and expertise to let you achieve your goals in health. So let them be the trusted choice for you and your loved ones.
Oh, it's so much fun to ride in a parade like that. They're just having a ball. I love it. Here we have Nova Home Loans. Good friends of mine over there, Paul Volpe and John Volpe. Nova Home Loans is proud to sponsor the 100th Tucson Rodeo Parade, and they are thrilled to celebrate this milestone, honoring Tucson's rich heritage at Nova. Their mission is clear: to help individuals and families achieve the dream of home ownership. For over 4 decades, they have stayed true to this commitment with their quick, smart, local approach to lending focused on personalized service. Their success is built on the trust that you've placed in them, and your continued support allows them to give back to the community that has given them so much. There they are.
And I really like their sign, hats off to 100 years, yes.
So check them out at novahomeloans.com. It's so great having them in the 100th Tucson Rodeo Parade. They want to say, here's to another 100 years of tradition, community, and the spirit of the Tucson Rodeo Parade.
Can you hear that?
I hear it.
Us?
It's coming.
It's the Catalina Foothills Falcon Band with 150 marchers. They are the largest high school marching band in the state of Arizona. This band has traveled and performed nationally and internationally, countries including England, China, and Australia. They performed twice in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in 2006 and 2019. In 2023, they appeared in the Rose Parade in Pasadena, California. Clayco Electric and Solar is the sponsor for the Catalina Foothills Band as we listen in.
Now that's what I call savings. Volume 101 is here.
Living for tonight, nothing can stop us now. O'Reilly's the place.
All the deals automobiles you love in one unforgettable place.
Since 1924, O'Reilly Chevrolet.
In Tombstone, Arizona, the town too tough to die is also the town too fun to leave. Walk in the footsteps of Wild West heroes like Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday. Or dust off your boots in the saloons, restaurants, and shops that line historic Allen Street. Tombstone is pet-friendly, and because of our elevation, we're always a little bit cooler up here. So step back in time and experience the historic Old West. Visit Discover Tombstone and plan your getaway.
And welcome back to our 100th anniversary of the Tucson Rodeo Parade. We want to give a big shout out to O'Reilly Chevrolet and the best seat in the house. That's Tom and Mickey. And they're so excited to be here. They got their friends here with us, and they are right next to our stage. And they won these seats through a contest, and we're just so happy to have them. O'Reilly Chevrolet's best seats in the house.
They're right next to that loaded pickup, too. That thing
boy,
is
look at that.
amazing. All right, thanks for being here, guys. Huge 13 News fans. We appreciate that. And now 201 is Rancho Bravo Friends and Family. There are 15 riders along with them. Rancho Bravo Family and Friends, they really enjoy being part of this parade. They've been doing it for 10 years, and this is the perfect year to celebrate 10 years, a decade within the century celebration.
You know, it looks like they just rode straight in from the ranch.
I know. Hi, guys. How's
There's
it
some
going?
real cowboys for you right there.
Oh, it's good to see you guys. Just riding together is just an amazing experience.
We have a lot of entrants like this where they're clubs, there might be riding clubs. They go out and help keep the trails clean, and they just like to get together and hang out on their horses and go ride.
I don't blame them. This is always one of my favorites.
Mine too, absolutely. Submarine Veterans of Tucson, U.S. Navy. It is Navy Week right here in Tucson. The model of the USS Tucson is mounted on an 1880 freight wagon surrounded by submarine veterans of all eras. Riding on the buggy is Vice Admiral James Pitts, accompanied by the commanding officer of USS Gabriel Giffords, commanding officer of Pre-Commissioning Unit Arizona, and Command Master Chief of the U.S. Navy's 3rd Fleet. We've got some big wigs with us here in Tucson today. Also included are sailors from our very own namesake submarine, the USS Tucson. Tucson has its own submarine in the United States Navy. Sailors from the U.S. Navy's Ceremonial Guard and sailors in 1,800 uniforms from the Navy's oldest active duty warship, the USS Constitution.
Thank you for your service. We salute you. It's just a great replica they have on that float. Up next, we have 203, the Catholic Foundation for the Diocese of Tucson, coming up right after the sub.
There's some more of our Navy sailors with us today.
Oh, yes, thank you.
We got to
Hello.
welcome them to
we've
Tucson.
got another buggy coming their way. Hi, guys.
These are some high-ranking Navy officers, and they get to come here for the whole week, and we get to enjoy Tucson with them. They get to enjoy what we have to offer, and they get to do the outreach for the United States Navy and get some bragging rights with the USS Tucson.
You know, they were just here the other day. They were at the high schools showing them some new VR technology that SEALs use. So they are very active in getting out into our community, and every year coming to the Tucson Rodeo Parade.
And we have our fair share of young folks who join the military and the services coming out of Tucson.
We do.
So,
Thank
we
you all for
appreciate
being here.
Absolutely.
So as we mentioned, the Catholic Foundation for the Diocese of Tucson works to inspire and steward Catholic generosity through parishes, Catholic schools, communities of southern Arizona. The Catholic Church in Arizona goes back to the time of Padre Pio, 1690, so before the rodeo parade.
A little bit before. They continue to bring the good news of Jesus Christ to our communities today through faith-based ministries and community programs, many of which are supported by the Catholic Foundation. And, we actually...
Our bishop is on his way to Michigan, to Detroit.
Yeah.
So we'll be getting a new bishop here in Tucson.
He's been here for 7 years, and I remember when he got here, he came down to the TV station, and we spent the day with him. So we bid him farewell and best wishes.
Yes, he'll be moving on to Detroit, Motor City. Up next, this is a great organization. I know you all know. It's number 204. Is the Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Southern Arizona since 1963. They've been operating under the belief that inherent in every child is incredible potential, which we know is true. As Southern Arizona's largest donor and volunteer-supported mentoring network, Big Brothers and Sisters, Southern Arizona makes meaningful, monitored matches between adult volunteers, as we know they're called the bigs, and children, the littles, ages 6 through now they go through young adulthood. So for more information, just go to www.soazbigs.org.
soazbigs.org. A good friend of mine, Justin, has been a big for about 12 years to the same young man. So
really?
Oh, yeah.
So rewarding.
Very. They love each other just like real big brothers and little brothers. They really do so much wonderful work for our community. Here we have Apperson Plumbing Service. It's locally owned and operated, and they've been here in Southern Arizona since 1949. They say that they will go to any depth to solve your plumbing problems and issues. So if you have anything like that, make sure you give Apperson Plumbing Service a call. Again, they've been in business since 1949. So that's they've been here, wow, just longer than half the parade.
I mean, that's a long time
Definitely.
to be in business. And when you need a plumber, you are happy to have a good one. And that is 100% for certain. Thanks, guys. Thanks for supporting the Rodeo Parade in its 100th year. If you can believe that. Okay, this is one of the best parts of the parade. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Cuadra Birceno Caballos Bailadores. These are 15 horseback riders with the dancing horses. Now you have to watch these guys because this takes so much training, and I really don't know how they do it. But they're coming by. You can hear the band playing. Hey guys, I love the sparkles.
And
Cuadra Briseño.
When you see the horses, listen to the music and then watch the horses.
Right. So we're going to cut to the horses in just a moment here and look at how they move. And it's not just how the horses move, but how the riders move with them.
You know, considering I have 2 left feet when it comes to dancing, these horses dance better than I do.
Just don't get out there and try to dance with them.
We'll have to get them out to Whiskey Roads on those dancing nights.
Look at this, though, the high stepping.
For the Maverick.
And a lot of these guys, you know, they are multi-generations of dancing horses. That it is just, it's a skill, it's an art. Cuadra Briseño Caballos.
You know, we're talking about just, how well they take care of their horses. And these horses are just, they're shining, they're gleaming in the sunlight. They're just absolutely beautiful animals.
Oh, and look at the manes, the way they're braided. I mean, this takes a lot of time and energy. They are followed up by one of our other favorites and a constant supporter of the Rodeo Parade.
The Tucson Police Department, under the direction of Chief of Police Chad Kazmar. Riding Baby is excited to be part of this legendary Tucson event and joins the celebration of 100 years of the Tucson Rodeo and Parade. Today they ride in memorial with a surviving family member of one of the Tucson Police Department's fallen officers, riding ace and representing all 10 of the department's fallen officers over the TPD's history. May we always remember, honor, respect all of them. They are ready to serve and protect, ready to serve since 1871. TPD is here for you, and they say happy 100th birthday to La Fiesta de los Vaqueros Rodeo and Parade. And there's Chief Kazmar riding a horse.
Chief is riding Baby. Hey, Baby.
Hey, Chief. There he is.
That's good stuff right there.
He looks like a chief of police, doesn't he?
Yes, absolutely. And he knows what he's doing on a horse. So that can't hurt. And they have a wagon following them up as well. Talk about your horseback officers.
Absolutely, and he's carrying too. I love it. About, look, we're going back to the old days now.
Oh my goodness.
There's
so
Chief Kazmar stopping right in front of the grandstands, waving to everybody.
You don't see that very often, but the chief going around the banner there to stop and wave. Hey there.
Right here in front of us.
Good to see you. Baby's doing a good job. Baby is a well-trained horse. Hey, Chief.
And you can see on the float behind the chief of police, we've got some of the community officers there. That's a relatively newer program over the last several years where they kind of go around and help out with some of the car crashes, traffic control, and also help with some of the parks.
Thank you so much for all you do, TPD. And that was, boy, the chief practiced that move with Baby. That was
makes it look easy.
That's some good stuff. Okay, up next we are going to have HSL Properties. They've been committed to developing and manage diverse properties. We'll get back to them in just a moment, but let's go ahead and talk to Erin. She's out with the crowd.
She's got a great job today, Erin.
Yeah, Dan Brooke, one of the things I love about the Tucson Rodeo Parade is getting to enjoy it with other people. So I've been making some friends here, Mike, Judy, Mary. A couple of these folks from Ohio, upstate New York, they're here. I gathered they were from somewhere else because they've thanked me about 15 times for the beautiful weather since I've been sitting here. How many times have you guys come out to the rodeo parade?
Probably a dozen.
I moved to Tucson in the winter of 1979, 78, and since 1979 I've been coming many, many times.
You know, you guys are sitting front and center. So I imagine it's very important for you to be here for the 100th annual parade. Why is it so important to be here today for this special event?
I'm just amazed that this tradition has continued. The first time I went in the 70s, it was downtown. But every time I come, and I used to bring my kids, they're now in their 30s. It's so exciting. And the fact that they've kept it going for 100 years, and it's such a tradition, is amazing.
And I know you were telling me you're from Vegas, and you were a part of a parade there.
Yes, I rode my horse in the El Dorado parade, and they had a rodeo too. But unlike Tucson, they've discontinued the parade there. I think it's so fantastic that Tucson honors its heritage with 100 years of this parade.
I think it's fantastic too. Thanks, guys, for sharing it with us. And Judy, Mike, Mary, thank you so very much for being here. We appreciate it. Dan Brooke, back to you.
Love seeing them out here, and we've got to give a quick shout out to HSL Properties. They do a lot. Chances are you may have lived in an HSL property over the years, but they want to just say that they're all about community and proud support of the old Pueblo's Western heritage.
Well, we had Banner University Medical Center go on by there, the AZ Trauma Cats, and now we see the School of Rock Tucson, a performance-based music school focusing on combining group and individual learning to provide the most comprehensive music educational experience for each student. They are a growing, passionate community that fosters personal and artistic growth through music education, and they are walking and playing, which is pretty cool.
They are. And we also want to just mention real quickly, Banner University Medical Center, that they're open 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Their team is there when you need your Arizona Trauma Cats, they say.
Up next, we have Pyramid Federal Credit Union. They are celebrating more than 95 years in the Tucson community, so almost as old as the rodeo. Their newest branch is at the Spectrum Shopping Center. Secure your future with personalized savings, low-rate loans, and expert guidance. Join them on February 28th for the grand opening fiestas. Pyramid Federal Credit Union helps members improve their financial lives.
Now we have Cora Martin and Madeline Murray. These two girls live in Vail, Arizona. They're bale racing, goat tying, colt calf sorting, and pole bending cowgirls. Cora's riding Princess Luna, a blue roan quarter horse. Madeline Murray is riding Cassie, a painted Arabian. They love their horses. They love what they do. They're best of friends. They always look forward to riding in the Tucson Rodeo Parade. Sponsoring them today is Carter Ranch Insurance and Wonderland and Beyond.
And
Travel.
they have sparkles.
Yes.
And they're beautiful horses, beautiful girls,
Look who else has
and beautiful music sparkling away with Pueblo High School Marching Band. Welcoming Pueblo High School, pride of the old Pueblo Warrior Marching Band, led by first-year director, Mr. Tanasin. Okay, here we go. Pini Papa Tre Cool, but his students just call him Mr. Jane. This vibrant ensemble represents the heart and spirit of Pueblo High School in Tucson. For 3 years, the band is qualified and performed in state marching band competitions. Let's listen in. right back.
Quick break.
Water is life. For generations, Tucson Water has been the trusted steward of our precious resource, providing clean, reliable water while honoring our Sonoran Desert heritage. Today, through conservation efforts and sustainable practices, we're safeguarding our water for future generations. With our One Water 2100 plan, we're ensuring a sustainable water future for all. A tradition of responsible Sonoran Desert dwelling continues with you.
For 50 years, HSL has built more than just properties. We've built a community. At HSL, it's not just about where you work, it's about belonging. We're looking for passionate professionals to grow with us and make a difference. With exciting sign-on bonuses, great benefits, and a team that truly cares, a career at HSL means a brighter future. Join us today at hslcareers.com. HSL, celebrating 50 years of community.
And we had friends of Rancho de la Agria and Barrio Kroger's Lane. They were right there during the break. They're in Tucson's original birthplace below Sentinel Peak, that is. And they are one of the oldest right along the Santa Cruz River. They're honored to be here.
And now we're talking teeth, general dentistry for kids. They promise to provide high-quality dental care for children, making it fun and family-friendly, regardless of family income. And they only see kids. All of their dentists spend the entire day focusing solely on the unique treatment of children's oral health. And that giant tooth on the back is part of the program. Their office is geared toward making a trip to the dentist as fun, as comfortable as it can be. Games in the lobby, movies on the ceiling in the treatment room. So that's general dentistry for kids.
And look at the colors on their float. They're bursting with colors. I like how they've kind of got the old look going with the ropes on the side. Love it.
This is Pima Community College in their horse wagon walkers and an authentic Mexican look to their float here. They're an open access and diverse institution committed to affordable, high-quality education and workforce development. And then the Pima Community College Police Department following them up, part of the PCC family, of course, made up of dedicated, highly trained officers who work to provide a safe, welcoming environment, promoting educational success for the whole community.
Up next, we have entry number 217, Push Ridge Christian Academy, with a classical Christian dual language school located at 12th Avenue in Valencia. PRCA is dedicated to partnering with Christian families to offer their children a biblically centered education. PRCA South Campus is now open K through 3rd grade, but will be soon starting 4th grade as well. In August of this year, they help families with applications and scholarships, so stop by and they would love to give you a tour.
There's some real cuties on that wagon. Next we have Laura Balderson. She's been riding in the Tucson Rodeo Parade since 2009 with her friend Flint Freeman. Dolly's the second mule she has ridden in the parade. Chewy Louie was the first. Laura rides in memory of her mother, Jan Meller. And here's her friend. This is Flint Freeman. Following up.
Hello, Flint. And look at all the stuff he's got on his saddle there.
With Clarabelle.
Clarabelle have been riding in parades for 32 years. Between them, they are 114 years old. Don't look a day over 99. No, they look fantastic. Probably the oldest equestrian pair in this parade. 114 between the two of them. I love it.
Up next, Idaho Central Credit Union. Here we have another flyover. The Green Team is welcoming to Tucson ICCU, founded and organized in 1940. It has more than 650,000 members, and they're excited to help members achieve financial success in the greater Tucson Valley and to be part of the 100 Parade.
Oh, I see Tucson police behind them. Wonder what's going on. We'll try to keep you updated.
Yeah, as they mentioned, not part of the parade, but lots of others are.
This entry means a lot to the Tucson Rodeo Parade. Roscoe Christopher Mud Wagon. The Mud Wagon coach was built in 1982-83 by Roscoe Christopher himself, a past Grand Marshal and Wagon Master for the Tucson Rodeo Parade Committee. The Mud Wagon is a replica of those that ran between the Pyramid Mines in Reno, Nevada back in the 1800s. Sharon Thomas and her daughters Shannon and Michelle, along with their families, they ride in the parade every year in memory of Rose and Roscoe Christopher and their contributions to the Tucson Rodeo Parade.
Hats off to you and the Mud Wagon. It's such a great part of the parade. We have South Point Catholic High School Marching Band coming up, but while they march up here, we just want to mention hundreds of thousands come out to watch this parade every year.
Yes.
We've got another flyover. I think this year we're going to see more than 200,000 people.
I'll tell you what, just in the short 2 blocks that I rode to come over here, there was easily 1,000 people just in that couple of blocks. We were sitting across from the grandstands, which are packed. Hundreds of people alone right there in the grandstand. So it's so great that people are coming out to support the 100th
They
year.
really are. And here they come, the Lancer Marching Band from South Point Catholic High School under the direction of Jim Howell, an alum from the class of 91. They're on the field and in the street. The Lancers are guided by Drum Major Sophia Lee and Drum Captain Damian Matias. South Point Catholic High School celebrates its 75th year in education this year, and Tough Shed is the parade sponsor for the South Point Catholic High School band. Let's listen.
Mounted Color Guard. We welcome the Tombstone High School Mounted Color Guard, the only high school mounted color guard in the entire nation. And of course, they're from Tombstone. Commanded by Cadet First Sergeant Michaela Jones. She's in her 3rd year as the commander. Each rider is responsible for the care and training of their mounts. They must also maintain their grades in school. The team provides their own cleanup crew, and their motto is, they poop it, we scoop it.
Oh, well,
From the town too tough to die.
Can't argue with that. They are not wrong about that. Okay, this is one of Up After Them. We want to give plenty of time to the Rodeo Royalty Tucson, a nonprofit organization dedicated to bringing back what was once a large contestant-based rodeo royalty in Arizona, bringing high integrity and morals as part of the program. They're representing their queen, Isabella Nordling. She's a senior at Andrada High School in Vail, Arizona. She enjoys roping, sorting, and is the senior class vice president. Princess J.C. Goodwin is a freshman at Benson High School, and she enjoys playing volleyball, competing in rodeo, and loves working on the family ranch. Little Miss Melia de la Cruz is an 11-year-old and attends Spectrum Academy. She loves barrel racing, goat tying, team roping, steer riding. Sweetheart Bliss, then, is a 7th-generation Arizonan. Her family homesteaded and ranched in the Gila Valley, and she's currently in 3rd grade at Lehman Academy of Excellence. She loves her Arabian horse, Nick.
And did you see the colors of what they were wearing?
They are carrying on a tradition. So we had Base Camp for Veterans in White Stallion Ranch, which I know you've done a lot of work with.
They have provided equine therapy services for veterans and their family. Very important work. They participate in a variety of equine-related activities with a mix of wild Mustangs and fully trained dude horses. During the programs, their participants stay at the White Stallion Ranch, and they fully immerse themselves in the Western culture.
Followed up by Hermosa. I love that name. Hermosa Salon, celebrating 100 years of the Tucson Rodeo. And they have the sparkly hats over that hair. Then we have the Gospel Rescue Mission, another big part of our Tucson community, celebrating their 72nd year anniversary. Celebrating and representing more than 7 decades of Tucson tradition, the Center of Opportunity is celebrating its 6th anniversary, both serving the community and the homeless with permanent solutions to end homelessness. A great organization.
You know, they do so much wonderful work in our community, and it's just so nice to have them out here. And I'll tell you what, good folks there at the Gospel Rescue Mission. HSL, the Lopez Foundation, the Family Foundation, thanks to the Center of Opportunity as well. They do fantastic work. Lisa Chastain, the director, wonderful people.
Thank you for your hard work.
There's Dana Cooper.
Nice job on those sparkly red nails.
Oh,
on the hooves there.
Work.
They really got dressed up for this one. Up next, we have El Rio Health Center, dedicated to serving all populations, including the underrepresented and uninsured. El Rio has become one of the largest nonprofit community health centers in the U.S., focusing on positive outcomes, never giving up, and active prevention through compassionate people who give from the heart to provide warm, caring, trusted comfort to those in need. More than 100. Oh, did you hear that? We love you, Dan.
Woo!
That's El Rio Health.
El Rio. Thank you, guys.
Up next, we have Vantage West Credit Union, celebrating 70 years plus of serving Southern Arizona. They are proud to be Tucson board and locally rooted, supporting our community every step of the way. Parade fans, remember to bank like you live here. Visit vantagewest.org to find out how you can become a member owner.
And here we have Desert Bloom Relief Center. I like how they do that. Relief.
Yeah.
They're celebrating Tucson's rich heritage. Desert Bloom Relief Center is proud to join the 100th annual Tucson Rodeo Parade as a holistic healthcare facility dedicated to serving our community. They honor the spirit of 100 years and still rolling, another pun there, by continuing our commitment to providing high-quality medical and recreational cannabis, home to the largest deli-style cannabis selection in Arizona. They invite you to experience their unparalleled variety and personalized service. They're at 800 East 22nd Street, open daily from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m.
That's a punny group right there.
It is a punny group.
Followed up by the Pascua Yaqui tribe of Arizona, a federally recognized tribe with 9 Yaqui communities. Today, Chairman Julian Hernandez is joined by members of the Tribal Council, all honored to participate in this year's 100th Rodeo Parade. The Pascua Yaqui tribe, thank you for being here. Thank you, and being pulled by those beautiful draft horses representing the tribe today. Hi, good morning. Boy, the stands are packed today. I got to tell you, this is I think the most packed grandstand we have seen since we've been out here. Jet Sports Training is who we're seeing now. They're Tucson's leader in speed and sports performance, offering youth high school and adult group classes. Jet coaches specialize in speed and strength training so athletes can dominate in their sport and win the competition. Tired of seeing your child struggle in the field? I know what that's like. Well, at Jet Sports Training, they're not just coaches. They're expert trainers specialize in cutting edge, and they have helped countless athletes from youth to high school to professionals achieve their peak potential. Ready to see your child rise above the rest? So you can visit jetsportstraining.com.
And give them a follow on social media as well. Jet Sports Training, where champions are made in Tucson.
And a perennial favorite, as we know, at the parade is Tombstone.
Absolutely.
And so we had old Tucson out here earlier with a little bit of gun show action. Now we have Tombstone. Wanted tourists to discover Tombstone.
Get it?
I get it. Come experience the true Wild West just an hour south of Tucson. Bring the whole family. And they're pet friendly, so check out everything Tombstone has to offer. Oh, they got put away.
It was a few months ago, we did a live all day long. We were live in Tombstone. They're the friendliest folks you'll meet, and everybody's dressed in the 1800s era, back in the old Wild West, a town too tough to die. Catch their free entertainment on Allen Street on the 2nd, 4th, and 5th Sundays of the month. And if you want to go back in time, go to Tombstone. Fred's Arena Bar and Steakhouse. They've been family owned and operated since 1974, located 20 minutes southwest of Tucson off Ajo Road. You can visit them. Mesquite grilled steaks, that sounds so good. Homemade pizzas, burgers, ice cold beer, and a full bar. This Conestoga wagon was built by Fred Longfellow back in the 1980s. Look at that. That's a gorgeous wagon as well. The team of Geldings, King and Patrick are owned and driven in memory of Fred by his grandson Wyatt. Be sure to check them out on Facebook. That's Fred's Arena Bar and Steakhouse.
Boy, that wagon is straight out of Oregon Trail. Know what I mean? All right, we have another band coming our way from Tucson, Arizona, the Desert View High School Band. The Pride of the Jaguars Marching Band is under the direction of University of Arizona Fred Fox School of Music alum Mr. Andrew Davidson. Professional staff like Jason Allen, Anthony Espericueta, and Andres Leon, Bonnie Castillo, Omar Ainza, Cyril Ortiz, Israel Duran, Brooke Taylor, and Matthew Wagner. Let's listen in. We'll be right back.
All right, we're going to be right back after this quick break.
That's what I call savings. Volume 101 is here.
Living for tonight, nothing can stop us now. O'Reilly's the place.
All the deals you love in one unforgettable place.
Since 1924. O'Reilly Chevrolet.
There went Desert View High School Marching Band. Great seeing them there. Hey, you want to see the best seat in the house, Brooke? O'Reilly Chevrolet. We got Tom and Mickey over there. His wife's actually stepped out for a quick, probably stretching her legs, but I'll tell you what, this is awesome. They're sitting right in front of that brand new Chevrolet truck. O'Reilly Chevrolet, the best seats in the house.
This is their
Perfect
entry
timing.
for O'Reilly, giving you more since 1924 and sponsoring the best seat in the house in their wagon today. We also, before that, saw Manto and Ramirez families. They are a family group for the past 21 years.
21
riding
years.
together with family time. And thank you to O'Reilly as well for all of your support.
And of course,
years.
a big thanks to the Manzo and Ramirez families riding together for 21 years. Goes back to those groups that love to be out here together on their horses.
And now we're listening to Fundación Musical, a non-profit music school that teaches accordion, bajo quinto, guitar, drums, bass, and voice from age 6 to adult. Fundación Musical is a school that participates with their students playing at their norteño groups, at public events. And boy, do they bring the energy today.
They do, and they'll help you do fundraisers as well if you got some families on hardship. Let's take a listen.
He's playing the accordion and singing, and he's like, I don't know, 10?
Wow.
That was really impressive.
The energy level is high with those guys.
Wow. They
Love
were
it.
ready to roll this morning. Up next, we have Bustos Media Tucson. They are 6 different radio stations in Tucson and Nogales, Sonora, from talk radio on KBOI 1030 AM, Latin Top 40, regional Mexican, and old school R&B to timeless variety from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Each station is as unique as their on-air talent. Represented here by Alonso Balais, El Loncho from La Poderosa 105.3 FM, Esperanza Madrid from Urbana 92.5, Melissa Santa Cruz from 106.3, Melissa Santa Cruz, and Leslie Lois from The Drive Tucson 101.7
Love
FM
Leslie.
and 8:30 a.m. Joining the Bustos lineup is Sebastian Osuna from Tierra Antigua Realty.
Bustos Media is proud to be a sponsor of the 100th Tucson Rodeo Parade. I know we partnered with them. Sometimes you'll hear us giving the weather forecast.
Oh, I love this group. Charros y Modelos de Tucson, representing the Mexican culture. Charros on their dancing horses and models in their traditional Aztec and China Poblana. They are beautiful and colorful, and Aaron is standing by now.
Let's check in with Aaron right along the parade route.
Brooke, Dan, I've got Irene, Emma, and Iris here. Good morning, ladies. You've really been enjoying the parade, I can tell. You are dressed to the nines. I love it. Everybody first has to get a look at their booth. Can you ladies put their boots up here? I like it. All the glitter and the sparkles. So pretty. How old are you?
7, 8, 9.
What's your favorite part of the rodeo parade so far?
The marching bands. My favorite part is all the dancers. I like the horses.
And why do you like the horses best?
Me and Irene used to ride horses.
Do you guys all go to the same school? What school do you go to?
Line weaver, basis, line weaver.
Ah, well, thank you so much for sitting here. We appreciate it. Is this your very first rodeo parade? No, not your first rodeo, huh? Okay.
Last year for the parade. Uh-huh.
Have you ever actually been in the parade? Maybe riding? You said you used to ride.
No.
This is as close as it's gotten, huh? Being a part of our live broadcast. Really, really an honor to chat with you girls this morning for the 100th annual rodeo parade. What do you guys think the very first parade was like 100 years ago?
I have no idea. Probably, I don't know. No police cars zooming by.
Definitely no police cars. Probably a lot of horses, though, still. Well, thank you, ladies, Iris, Emma, and Irene, for helping us out today at the rodeo parade. Back to you.
Love it. And while we were talking to them, that was Charros y Modelos, Arizona riding, the breeds that are trained. They're beautiful horses, so we thank them for that.
Dancing horses.
Up next, we have entry number 306, the Rockin' W Rancho. This is my good Rockin' W Rancho ranch up there northwest of Tucson. My good friend Chandler Warden's ranch. Unique Western venue for any occasion found nowhere else. Indulge in the feel of Western heritage, the aroma of mesquite barbecue, and the quiet of the desert. It's a perfect fit for weddings, retreats, meetings, and gatherings. Consider the next Rockin' W Rancho for your next event. There we go. My buddy Roberto's up there as well. It's proud to be a sponsor of the 100th annual Tucson Rodeo Parade. And Chandler Warden, who owns that, was actually the 2016 Rodeo Parade Grand Marshal.
Well, so that was a couple years after you?
Yes, a couple years after I was. And actually, they texted me something about we also want to do a quick shout out. One of the floats from Rockin' W, and they just wanted to say thank you, and they're so excited to be here.
We're glad to have them. Look at this cutie. This is Pancho's Mustang Rescue, a nonprofit. They depend all on donations. These little guys located in southwest Tucson, they rescue wild Mustangs, donkeys, domestic horses in need of a safe home. They give love and housing, medical, dental, food, and water, and they take on these little mini horses, as you can see, to assisted living facilities and hospitals all over Tucson for visits and equine therapy, and they're so therapeutic. Today, Sunny Boy is driving the cart. Donnie Donk is being led, and Lily, a Mustang yearling, is being led. So by appointment, small donation. I mean, that would really, that would help. Imagine how much faster the day would go.
Herencia Carina's family. They're a family of Charros and Vaqueros. Their father, with much pride, showed them the love for this tradition, and they've proudly been carrying out the family tradition for more than 35 years.
And next we have Tucson Electric Power, always a big part of the parade with strong partnership, building strong communities. Tucson Electric Power has been serving the community for more than 130 years, providing safe, reliable service to the community and partnering with local organizations, including the Rodeo Parade. And it's proud of its 99.9% reliability, thousands of hours donated by volunteers, and long-standing support of the Tucson Rodeo Parade, celebrating the grit and determination that defines our community.
Always appreciate those lines.
Yes.
The monsoon hits.
Oh, yes.
Hard workers. Cricket Wireless, they're excited to share the vibrant spirit of Cricket Wireless. It's dedicated to connecting communities and bringing people together. much like the camaraderie and excitement you experience here at the Rodeo Parade. Cricket offers an easy and high-quality wireless experience on their reliable nationwide network. Whether you're searching for the perfect cell phone plan for your family, Cricket has you covered with affordable, low-priced service.
And here comes some more music from the Tucson, Arizona Boys Chorus, kicking up music across the world. The Tucson, Arizona Boys Chorus celebrates its 85th concert season, known as Tucson Singing Ambassadors. The singing and roping skills of this world-renowned professional touring group deliver the flavor of the Southwest at home and abroad. The Boys Chorus.
They've got incredible voices. If you haven't ever seen them, you got to go check them out.
Give them a big round of applause for these young talents.
Up next, we have Old Tucson Entertainment. This is one of my favorite places to take family and friends when they come to visit Tucson. Built in 1939, Old Tucson has been the production site for over, get this, 500 Western films and TV shows. Located 25 minutes from downtown Tucson, Old Tucson preserves the significance of the production studio while being a family entertainment park, offering its visitors guided tours, seasonal events, rides and attractions, live stunt shows, saloon shows, restaurants, retail outlets. Our Wild West Day Park is open now and will run until May. So grab yourself a silver or gold season pass. Join us at Old Tucson or choose your own Western adventure. My boys love riding the train.
Oh, yes, I imagine they do. Dan's going to wave his hat. Hey there, folks. Good to see you. They're in the old U.S. mail truck. And up now we have Boy Scouts of America. Please welcome Scouting America Catalina Council riding proudly on their float, represented by the Young Scouts. And Dan, this is an organization near and dear to you.
Near and dear to my heart. Both my boys are Scouts. My 10-year-old son, Dean, just got promoted to Boy Scout from Cub Scout.
Aww.
My 5-year-old son, Preston, is a Cub Scout. We're in Troop 219 out of Marana. And I'll tell you what, we have a camping trip coming up this summer for a whole week. I'm so excited for that. A wonderful organization. They showcase the values of community, leadership, and adventure that Scouting fosters, from earning merit badges to serving the community. These young leaders are making a positive impact and building a brighter future. So let's give a big round of applause to Scouting America, their new name now, Catalina Council, for all they do in shaping tomorrow's leaders. Scouting America.
Oh, that's terrific. I hope you have a great camping trip, too. And up next, a longtime supporter, Tucson Firefighters Association, joining us today with an old TFD wagon pulling hand-drawn hose carts. This is the way they used to do it, folks.
I love this. Imagine back in the day, that's how they put out fires. Dragging these hoses by hand and by horse, and just helping out our community like that. And they're dressed up in the era, and just, this is what it used to be like.
I mean,
right
it
here
would
in
take
Tucson.
forever just to button up those shirts.
That was a job in itself.
Up next, we have Check Smart, commemorating 100 years of the Tucson Rodeo Parade, and honored to participate in the parade on a float adorned with some beautiful flowers and Western desert motif. They are proud to be a sponsor here at the Centennial Rodeo Parade.
And you can see another one of these businesses, sponsors. Look at all the work they put into this. They've got some wild cacti up there. And I like the way those things are shining in the sunlight. That looks
Just
fantastic.
the glitter alone,
Yes.
that was like a 2-day job. Look at that.
And you can see the handler just keeping everything safe. The 2 horses drawing this wagon. They got some bales of hay up there. But yeah, that's a really nice looking float. Love it.
It sure is. It's always, I mean, I love to see all of them. And then, of course, you do have a couple big winners at the end of the day. They compete in 22 classes. It is a competition. Western riding groups, historical, the most comical. We still have yet to see some of the most comical ones coming our way.
Some of my favorite. Check Smart. Thanks for being out here this year. Here we have the pride of Tucson right here. Tucson High Magnet School Marching Band. Marching 100, one of the oldest and most storied marching band programs in all of Arizona. They've got a long history of participation in the Tucson Rodeo Parade, having been part of the parade's tradition from the very beginning and appearing in many rodeo parades. Tucson High is proud and honored to take part in its centennial celebration. Chicago Music Store is the parade sponsor for the Tucson High Band. Let's take a listen. Tucson Badgers. We got the County Line Riders of Catalina coming up.
Tombstone, Arizona, the town too tough to die, is also the town too fun to leave. Walk in the footsteps of Wild West heroes like Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday, or dust off your boots in the saloons, restaurants, and shops that line historic Allen Street. Tombstone is pet friendly, and because of our elevation, we're always a little bit cooler up here. So step back in time and experience the historic Old West. Visit Discover Tombstone and plan your getaway.
In Tucson, water is life. For generations, Tucson Water has been the trusted steward of our precious resource, providing clean, reliable water while honoring our Sonoran Desert heritage. Today, through conservation efforts and sustainable practices, we're safeguarding our water for future generations. With our One Water 2100 plan, we're ensuring a sustainable water future for all. A tradition of responsible Sonoran Desert dwelling continues with you.
And during that break, we had the County Line Riders, a nonprofit trail group formed 30 years ago, and we just want to give them a big shout out. They're looking fantastic as they help and maintain trails.
And now you're watching Teen Challenge of Arizona, providing youth, adults, and families with effective, comprehensive Christian faith-based solutions to life-controlling problems to become productive members of society. Teen Challenge of Arizona endeavors to help people become mentally sound, emotionally balanced, socially adjusted, physically well, and spiritually alive. And this year, they are celebrating their 60th anniversary.
Happy 60th. Telemundo Tucson is here, serving Tucson and Southern Arizona's Spanish-speaking community for over 35 years. They bring you trusted news and top-notch entertainment. From Noticiero of Telemundo, Arizona, to your favorite shows, they're proud to celebrate the rich history of the Southwest culture with you today. Thank them. They want to say thank you for making Telemundo Tucson Channel 40 your go-to station. And don't forget to visit telemundoaz.com or download the app for all the latest. Telemundo, proud sponsor of the Tucson Rodeo Parade.
And up next, we have Pima Partnership Schools proudly presenting a showcase of the traditions of Oaxaca, Mexico at the Tucson Rodeo Parade. A stunning representation of the iconic Calenda Parade, the papier-mâché figures crafted and decorated by students coming to life with bright colors and details that capture the very essence of traditional characters, adding to the spectacle. Students wear folkloric attire representing various regions of Mexico, like Jalisco, Veracruz, and Michoacan, alongside the grandeur of Aztec dancers evoking Mexico's pre-Hispanic era. With the presentation, Pima Partnership Schools celebrate the richness and diversity of traditions and festivities, embodying the authentic Mexican spirit.
And we talk about the work that goes into these entries, and you can see it right here, not only in their costumes, but these papier-mâché.
Yeah.
I mean, this was a ton of work to get ready for this couple of hours of the Tucson Rodeo Parade.
This is definitely a highlight
Yeah.
to see these traditional parade aspects.
I
Really
love
nice.
seeing the Aztec costumes here as well, the traditional Aztecs. And I've always wondered what kind of what they have on their ankles. You can hear them as they walk by, but almost like a walnut shell or something like that.
You're right. Well, and the kids are learning so much
Yes.
history from this as they do this.
Here we have the University of Arizona Cancer Center. It's fighting cancer in all colors. Their researchers are finding new ways to diagnose, prevent, and treat cancers that burden Arizonans the most. Fighting cancer for Arizona is a battle we can all join. Riding in today's parade and representing the fight against cancers of every stripe, riding in solidarity with all those afflicted with various kinds of cancer throughout Arizona and beyond. With the Sonoran Rodeo, we welcome Isabella Reinhardt, Gianna Justice, Isabella Moreno, and Cheyenne Goodwater. With Rex Allen Days, we welcome Cadence Norwood and Adelaide Workshire, Mia Reinhardt and Tylee Kilpatrick. With Benson Butterfield Rodeo, welcoming Anaya Allred and Paige Evans, and with Sierra Vista Riding Club, welcoming Stevie Davis, Paisley Davis, Harlan Snyder, and Willow Pickett. Let's hear it for all these riders today representing the fight against cancer and the outstanding research being done at the University of Arizona Cancer Center. And cancer hits close to home. I lost my dad to cancer in 2013, and so if there's something that you can do to help out with research, please do so if you can.
It's something that touches every family. It's really true. RCD Demolition here, providing commercial demolition services throughout southern Arizona since 2013. although the specialization is tearing down buildings, what they're really focused on is building solid relationships with clients, better community for the neighbors, and building a successful business with hardworking, dedicated employees. And their slogan is, it's going down.
And isn't this wagon appropriate for them? I mean, that looks like a working wagon. It's so buff looking and just powerful looking. I mean, yeah, it's going down with that wagon.
I've never heard a wagon described as buff, but I like it.
Buff wagon.
I like that very much.
Here we have Serve Pro of Tucson, the #1 cleaning and restoration company for residential and commercial properties. They specialize in fire and water damage, specialty cleaning, mold, and so much more. They are here to help you 24/7. And mold is one of those things that you don't want to mess around with. It can cause serious health problems. So Serve Pro can come in if you've got it. Unfortunately, if you do have it, they're the ones to call.
When you have it, you want to know who to call right away.
Absolutely.
So here's the sign for you.
And with our monsoons, sometimes we get a lot of rain, and that can cause mold in a house. And it is definitely something you don't want to mess around with. But look at them dancing away.
She has a beautiful skirt, and I love that green. We're seeing a lot of green and purple
this year, yeah.
Yes, certainly. So it's the longest non-mechanized parade there is, and this year's even bigger because it's the 100th year, and we so appreciate all these folks who put all the time and energy into this parade today.
The Tucson Rodeo Parade represents the old Pueblo. It brings us all together, different cultures, different heritages, and we all get to see it in one place in one morning. And the camaraderie, it just brings us all together. I love it.
And when it started, we were just 13 years old, so here we are now. Now we have Cope Community Services, Inc. They've served the Pima County community for their own 50 years, providing compassionate care for a wide range of health and wellness concerns. It's a nonprofit helping adults and youth obtain services to address mental health, substance use, primary care. To find your way to Cope, visit them online at copecommunityservices.org.
And that's another organization that does a lot of wonderful work for our community, helping those out who might have some health issues and wellness concerns. So if you do need that, give Cope a call.
And I do love the red hats.
Yeah, look at that.
I think that is a really nice touch. When you see a red cowgirl hat,
like Aaron Christensen's wearing.
Just like Aaron Christensen had. She had hers actually
personally made.
It's burned. KOLD.
Yep.
13 News is burned on there.
On
Aaron
one side.
said it would on the other side.
It's
really, really neat.
And again, you can see all the work and effort put into that. Here we have Lloyd Construction Company. It's a proud sponsor of the 100th annual Tucson Rodeo Parade. They're honored to celebrate this monumental occasion with the city of Tucson and Fiesta de los Vaqueros. As we reflect on the rich history of the old Pueblo, we also turn our vision to its future as a general contractor building exclusively right here in southern Arizona. They're committed to continuing their work of strengthening local communities through excellence in construction. We appreciate them having here today. They're excited to say cheers to the next 100 years.
Up next, St. Paul's Episcopal Church of Tombstone. It is the oldest Protestant church in Arizona.
Wow.
They offer tours of the historic adobe church built in 1882 and the 1880s minor cabin as well. Services have been held every week since the doors opened. Sunday mornings at 10:30 a.m. is when you can go. My goodness.
It'd be a nice service to attend. Our next entry represents the Tohono O'odham Nation. Riding in the entry are Chairman Verlon Jose, Vice Chairwoman Carla Johnson, the 2025 Miss Tohono O'odham Nation, Awatiem, and the 2025 Tucson O'odham Nation Rodeo Queen. With more than 36,000 tribal members, the nation has the second largest reservation land base in Arizona. We're honored to have them here. It is a pleasure to see them. They also have a proud rodeo tradition and just celebrated 86 years of hosting their all-Indian rodeo in Sells, Arizona. The Tohono O'odham Nation welcomes everyone to the 2025 Centennial Rodeo Parade.
And on this wagon, it's in 1958, Lawrence Sheldon walked in the Tucson Rodeo Parade with his dog.
Wow.
With his dog. Well, when the 100th parade came around, he knew he would ride in his bigger wagon, pulled by his horses Chip and Dale. He raised them from colts to what they are now, and he hopes everyone has a great parade. That's a great story, huh?
Love it. Oh, they're here every year. We love seeing them here. El Paso County Sheriff's Posse, founded back in 1936. The El Paso County Sheriff's Posse is the oldest continuously operated posse in all of the United States of America, staying true to their core values of honesty, integrity, and the love of good horses for 88 years. The posse has proudly preserved our Western heritage while serving as ambassadors of goodwill for El Paso and parades as far away as Wyoming, Massachusetts, and of course, right here in Tucson. We see them every year. We are so thankful that they make the drive from El Paso to join us.
You always know them from the red tie right there. And up next, we have Dedicated Dental. Dr. Manuel C. Bedoya founded Dedicated Dental Service 33 years ago and has been serving the Tucson community for 48 years. Currently serving at 4001 South Mission Road. That's Dedicated Dental.
And I actually just heard from a friend of mine, Dedicated Dental. They lost one of their employees this year. We want to take a moment to remember them, and we're just so thankful that Dedicated Dental is here with us. And our hearts and our thoughts and prayers are with the staff there. So
that's really tough. We have another marching band, the Saurita High School Marching Band. They are proud to represent Saurita as this year's Tucson Rodeo Parade, the largest in its school's history. And they've gotten several new accolades, including the first Superior with Distinction rating at the State Concert Festival. Let's listen.
Toss to a quick break. We'll be right back.
Shining, hearts ignited. O'Reilly's when we come alive tonight.
Now that's what I call savings. Volume 101 is here.
O'Reilly's when we come alive tonight. Living for tonight. Nothing can stop us now. O'Reilly's the place.
All the deals you love in one unforgettable place.
Since 1924. O'Reilly Chevrolet.
For 50 years, HSL has built more than just properties. We've built a community. At HSL, it's not just about where you work, it's about belonging. We're looking for passionate professionals to grow with us and make a difference. With exciting sign-on bonuses, great benefits, and a team that truly cares, a career at HSL means a brighter future. Join us today at hslcareers.com. HSL celebrating 50 years of community.
County Sheriff's Department.
And during that break, we had the Buffalo Soldiers going through a big prominent part of our history. The Buffalo Soldiers of the 9th and 10th Horse Cavalry Regiments and the 24th and 25th Infantry Regiments served in Arizona from the 1892 through the early 1900s.
Followed by Pima County Sheriff's Department. The Pima County Sheriff's Department's a leader in public safety, serving with honor, courage, and integrity.
And there's the Buffalo Soldiers. We definitely want to give them a big shout out. They played a prominent role in Arizona Territory, becoming a state protecting the southern border and the New Mexico Territory, including Arizona. And I love how they dress up in the uniforms of the late 1800s. Fort Huachuca has been the only distinction of being the only military installation to garrison of all 4 black regimental units.
Very important to this parade every single year. Coming up now, we just had a 404, Laura Montenegro and Mosaic, and now we have 405 Arizona State Veterans Home. They're proudly presenting a tribute to our military veterans through the eras. Leading their entry is a Buffalo Soldier, an Apache Scout from the 1870s. We salute you. A riderless horse honoring veterans who are no longer with us, followed by the flags of the military branches presented by Elks Lodge number 2663. And finally, some of our veterans who have proudly served our nation and current personnel from Davis-Monthan Air Force Base and inactive military personnel. We thank you for your service.
Mary Schaefer representing the Arizona Elks. I've actually been to their Elks Lodge there off of Ruth Roth. Wonderful organization.
And all of the flags here now with the Veteran Services. Thank you so much for all you do, and we appreciate your service so very much. you know, if you're at the rodeo, the flag team, they do carry that missing in action flag and prisoners of war flag. That's really neat that they include that as part of their flag service. And now we have 406. You know who's coming now. It's pink.
Can't miss them.
Completely pink, which means it's Tucson Chicks and Chaps.
Yeah, for 12 years, Chicks and Chaps has turned the Tucson Rodeo pink to raise funds for breast cancer patients while bringing awareness to the Western lifestyle and heritage of the rodeo. Let's wrangle up some funds and support, give some love to the breast cancer survivors riding in the wagon. We are so happy and thankful that you've survived. Kicking the dust up and supporting families facing breast cancer is the heart and soul of the Tucson Chicks and Chaps.
They do some really good work. And now we have number 407, Edna Figueroa. These riders are a 3-generation ranching family. The vaqueros love cowboys love the Western lifestyle, live it every day. They all team rope. They love the animals. They hope the family's legacy will continue for many generations. That's our hope, too. And we thank them for being part of the rodeo parade. So many folks come in for this. And now we have Coronado National Forest coming our way, but
we might be a little bit out of order here, Brooke.
I think the forest may be coming, but we have another band. This is Choya High School Marching Band, the Charger Marching Band. They've been around since 1969 when the school opened, by the way. Throughout the years, the band has seen many band directors. Mr. Terry Betts, Choya's first band director, got things going for the band, and not only did he write the fight song, Glory Choya, but he also set up the program for success.
Sure did. And, you know, these marching bands, they practice so much, and that's a lot of work. You think about it. They're in their full uniform, carrying these instruments, and walking a couple of miles. So, yeah.
Let's listen to them for a moment.
Mr. Terry Betts, Choya's first band director, got things going. Not only did he write the fight song, Glory Choya, but he's also set up the program for success. Since then, the Choya Charger Marching Band has continued to win awards annually.
We'll be right back.
Chargers.
But before we do that, Brooke, let's toss it over to Aaron right along the parade route.
Brooke, Dan, I'm joined by Colt and his sister, Charlie. Hi, guys. Colt, how old are you? 8. Are you a cowboy?
Yes.
I kind of figured as much because you really look like a cowboy. Would you mind standing up and showing everybody your outfit? Those boots look like you're a rider. Do you ride?
I used to.
Okay. And I like what the back of your vest says. Can you turn around? Cowboy hardware, built cowboy tough. Colt is cowboy tough. Colt, what school do you go to?
Hermosa Montessori.
Is this your first rodeo parade? It is? First ever? You waited 100 years to come to the rodeo parade? My goodness, what took you so long?
I don't know.
What's your favorite part?
I don't know.
Do you like the horses? Do you like the mules, the dancing, the music, or just all of it?
I like all of it.
Yeah, I love seeing the hat too, and your sister's got a beautiful hat on as well. I got a question for you. What do you think the first rodeo parade 100 years ago was like? Like, how do you envision it? Was it different from this? How so?
They didn't have helmets at all.
Yeah.
They weren't like this advanced.
And do you think Dan Maries was also at the first one announcing it?
No.
Whoa, I don't know about that. We'll have to check in with him. But Dan, Brooke, back to you guys.
That would make me 152 years old. So we have the Tucson Saddle Club. They've been riding strong since 1987. We had Casino del Sol rolling with the legacy of excellence. Casino del Sol on board. You got the 4 team members that were here as well. They're enjoying the community. Angel Charity for Children was in there as well. They've been Tucson's Halo for Hire, granting more than $33 million to 144 local children's organizations. Louise Thomas, the co-founder of Angel Charity, one of our past Grand Marshals. They have 250 dedicated volunteers committed to improving the lives of children in Pima County.
Great organization. And this is Door Church for 52 years, serving Tucson and the world with love and hope. They are at 2950 East Irvington. And now we have Finley Distributing and Coors Banquet.
A very important sponsor for the Tucson Rodeo and the Tucson Rodeo Parade. Finley Distributing has been providing Tucson with quality adult beverages for over 75 years. I remember getting to meet Dorothy Finley several years ago before her passing. Beverages like the official beer of the Tucson Rodeo, that's of course Coors Banquet, brewed in Golden, Colorado for over 150 years. And you can see it's very appropriate with their white writing. They got a bunch of barrels under there. They're so proud to be part of the legacy of the Tucson Rodeo Parade alongside Finley Distributing. Finley Distributing is proud to be a sponsor of the 100th annual. And another very important sponsor, Boot Barn. There's Debbie up there. Boot Barn, a proud supporter of the Tucson Rodeo Parade. Actually, Boot Barn provided the hat I'm wearing. All the former Grand Marshals, all the Grand Marshals get a hat from Boot Barn. It is the nation's largest Western and workwear retailer, offering the broadest selection of cowboy boots, work boots, and Western wear, workwear, Western-inspired fashion. Go check out Boot Barn.
Yeah, you're going to see Boot Barn all over the rodeo. And now we have another longtime sponsor, Tierra Antigua Realty, Southern Arizona's largest locally owned real estate company. They are really happy to be here celebrating the 100th year of La Fiesta de los Vaqueros. Tierra Antigua Realty, deeply grateful and humbled to have been part of the Tucson community for 23 years, and they're giving back through their Tierra Antigua Hope Foundation. They say, we live here, we give here.
Yep, Matt and Kim Clifton, they are good people that give back a lot. We have...
Number 418 is Hughes Federal Credit Union, coming our way in the saddle for more than 70 years.
And we also, before that though, real quickly, League of Mexican American Women. They've been around for many, many years, 58 years. The League's main goal is to offer scholarships to anyone wishing to pursue higher education. The League raises funds through various fundraising activities. The principal and biggest fundraiser they host is Fiesta El Xochimilco. The ball, the money raised helps many students attend college.
And the Tucson Indian Center goes by here as they continue along. And they are so happy to be part of the parade this year. They extend their best wishes for a fun and safe rodeo week. And now Pride Mechanical follows them up, which is interesting because it's the biggest non-mechanical parade, but they do have some great draft horses pulling them, and they do plumbing and electrical, founded 15 years ago by the Craig Hill family in Catalina, Arizona. And now they have a second shop in Tucson, expanding their reach, keeping that same dedication to service, from plumbing to heating, cooling, and electrical, bringing old-fashioned values and modern skills to every job. So see, that's where the combo comes in, the old and the new. So we give them a big round of applause for their hard work, their growth, and their commitment to keeping the West running smoothly.
And you know, we kind of got bunched up there. We want to give a shout out to Hughes Federal Credit Union. They've been riding in the parade for many years, over 70 years at Saddle Federal Credit Union, honored to celebrate 100 years. So thank you to Hughes Federal Credit Union.
And now Fox Tucson Theater, a favorite in Tucson, the historic Fox Theater, one of the city's most treasured landmarks. Opening in 1930, the Fox is a beautifully restored venue that's hosted generations of artists and performers. Listed on the National Registry of Historic Places because of its unique Southwestern Art Deco decor. Beautiful. And if you've seen it, it really is kind of one of a kind and very symbolic. The theater continues to celebrate the rich cultural history of Tucson. And now we have another marching band, Saguaro High School Marching Band, the Cougar Marching Band, under the new director of Juan Guzman, representing the spirit and talent of Saguaro High School in Tucson. It's been some time since the Cougar Marching Band participated in the Tucson Rodeo Parade, but they're thrilled to be here for the 100.
In previous years, the Cougar Marching Band has participated in various local and regional festivals, earning recognition for outstanding musicianship, performance, and community involvement. They look forward to showcasing their talents this year. Let's listen in. And we're going to take a quick break right after this.
That's What I Call Savings Volume 101 is here.
O'Reilly's where we come alive tonight. Living for tonight. Nothing can stop us now. O'Reilly's the place we're
All the deals you love in one unforgettable place.
Since 1924. O'Reilly Chevrolet.
And we want to give a quick shout out to Horsehaven Equestrian and Boarding. They're the ones in the blue shirt during that commercial break. It's a family-oriented facility offering training in Western pleasure riding and much more with 3 round pens and 2 large arenas. So check them out, Horsehaven Equestrian and Boarding.
And here we have Wa'ak Sexan Royalty, Ariana Moreno, Wa'ak Sexan Princess, First Lieutenant Reina Pablo, Junior Wa'ak Sexan Princess Danalia Miguel, Lil Miss Wa'ak Sexan Princess Bailey Lawson, and First Attendant Jaylina Lawson, and Second Attendant Mariana Valles.
Now we have Arizona Lotus, Caliente, La Caliente, 92.1, 95.7, La Caliente, I like to say. Hello, the morning show, Los Hios. They are a longtime sponsor of the Tucson Rodeo Parade and happy to support the Centennial Celebration La Caliente, serving Tucson for more than 22 years. Thank you, Jose Campillo from Tierra Antigua Realty, Gustavo Molina from Linsmart Mortgage, and La Picosa de la Tucson, making everyone dance. Dial the 92.1 and 95.7 in Caliente sister station, Éxito 93.3, and Del Amor and La 94.3 La Buena.
La Que Te Prende. And now up next,
here's
U.S. Army B Troop,
Yep.
Fort Huachuca. B Troop 4th U.S. Cavalry Memorial is a special Army historical unit from Fort Huachuca. The unit's mission is to promote the heritage and traditions of the U.S. Army, Fort Huachuca, military horsemanship by portraying the cavalry as it existed in the Southwest during the 1880s.
And now we have Hughes Federal Credit Union. Got a little bit out of order there in the saddle for over 70 years. Hughes Federal Credit Union is honored to celebrate 100 years of the Tucson Rodeo Parade. Member-owned and rooted in Southern Arizona, Hughes combines tradition with innovation, offering affordable financial solutions, education, and community support.
Up next, we have Girl Scouts of Southern Arizona. We're so happy to see them. We saw Scouting Arizona a bit ago. I was a Brownie. You were, your kids are a Boy Scout and a Cub Scout now, right?
Yep, and now we have the Girl Scouts. Of course, we love them for their Girl Scout cookies. Celebrating 90 years of leadership, adventures, and fun. Congratulations to the Girl Scouts of Southern Arizona.
And now we have 1AZ Credit Union. Tucson's Trailblazers deserve a bank with the same ambitious spirit. 1AZ Credit Union, your partner in exploring new possibilities, whether through freeze checking that allows effortless banking from anywhere or low-rate loans. 1AZ Credit Union is proud to sponsor the 100th Tucson Rodeo Parade. You can find them at 1azcu.com.
Tucson has rich history, and here's part of it. The Mormon Battalion. These 2 wagons represent the Mormon Battalion. During the Mexican-American War, 500 Mormon volunteers marched 2,000 miles across mostly Mexican-held territory to San Diego, California. They stopped in the Presidio of Tucson on December 16, 1846, which at that time was a walled city of fort with a garrison of Mexican troops. Fortunately, the Mormon Battalion was allowed into the Presidio. They were able to exchange some much-needed food and water for clothing as they made their way to San Diego. They raised the first American flag, they stayed the night, and marched on to San Diego. The Blue Wagon is a military wagon of the period. The battalion established a wagon trail across what was to become the southern U.S., which blazed the trail for the Butterfield stage, the Southern Pacific Railroad, and other parts of Interstate 10. Their peaceful entry into Tucson helped establish Tucson as the wonderful demographic that we enjoy today.
Oh, it's so good to see them. We learned something from this. And now you may recognize this one coming up. It's Truly Nolan.
Yep.
Giddy up, giddy up. Truly Nolan Pest Control has been in business since 1938. They promised to send protection from rodents and pests. And there they have that big bug on the front. As always,
got it going.
I love to see the big bug every year.
And you know, here's some personal family history. My mom's husband, my stepdad Joe, actually got to meet Truly Nolan through Westar Aviation in the aviation part of it.
Oh my
so,
goodness!
Yeah, Truly Nolan right here in Tucson. They've got a rich history themselves.
Now that's a story you have not told me before.
Nope.
And now we have the Tucson Horse Patrol unit coming our way, a very special part of the parade. The Sector Horse Patrol unit has been going on since 1924. The U.S. Border Patrol has been securing the front line on horseback for all of that time for us. Hi guys, thank you so much for being here. They ride through every year, and this is their centennial group. Here we have Los Morritos del Norte coming our way with lots more music. Oh my gosh, they play all kinds of instruments. They have an accordion, they have a bass, they have a bongo on there.
And they are sounding fantastic as they bring up the last entry of the 100th annual Tucson
Oh my good,
Rodeo
what a
Parade.
way to wrap it up with the Selena song. We love
Excellent
it.
way.
This has been the 100th annual. It has been one for the ages, the Tucson Rodeo Parade.
Here we go.
100 years strong.
Now, they're a group that was formed by 4 boys that play an accordion, a bass, a bajo, and the drums. The group has shared the stage with many famous musical groups throughout its career at shows like the Lordsburg, Tejano Fiesta, and many others. They've won a lot of music awards. These 4 boys have worked hard for the past 6 years, and they've learned to become excellent musicians.
Thank you so much for being part of this tradition for 100 years.
Did you have fun? Thanks, everybody.
Had a blast.
KOLT 13 thanks you for watching the 100th Annual Tucson Rodeo Parade. This broadcast was brought to you by these local businesses: